This program was produced by the Police Foundation, which is solely responsible for its content.
Welcome, fellow Republicans. To start with the old business, Brother Hibbert will read a report on our efforts to rename everything after Ronald Reagan.
All Millard Fillmore schools are now Ronald Reagans. The Mississippi River is now the Mississippi Reagan.
And my good friend Frankenstein is now Franken Reagan. Blah!
Excellent.
If we're going to stop inflation, we must do it now. Not with bigger government. It takes better government. That's what we owe ourselves and our children. That's why I'm running for president.
Only one man has the proven experience we need. Ronald Reagan for president. Let's make America great again.
It's safe to say that pretty much everybody hates Ronald Reagan.
Let's get back to Ronald Reagan and his criminal gang. When last we left them, they were going to get government off our backs. Yeah, but when it comes to abortion, they don't mind government being in a woman's uterus, do they? So these Reagan people, these right-wingers in general, these crypto-fascists, they're against homosexuality. They're against pornography. They're against sex education.
I'm serious. Fuck Ronald Reagan. 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 Fuck Ronald Reagan.
Oh, Reagan. I know so many people crap on him now, and there is no reason for that at all. I mean, like, Reagan was great.
And don't get me wrong, I hate Reagan too. Although, I do have a talking action figure of him right here. Hello and welcome to a generic YouTube unboxing video. Today, we have a mint condition Ronald Reagan action figure. Let's hear what he has to say, folks.
There's been a disturbing reoccurrence of bigotry and violence.
Wow, amazing. So I'm just going to pop the top right off here. Okay, he's kind of squatting. Got his knees tucked together, like, oh, daddy. Fun fact, Ronald Reagan created Al-Qaeda. Oh, geez. Who are they trying to keep out of this thing? Why did you ruin this country? If I were going to shoot Ronald Reagan, this is how I would have done it. This is what you get for killing John Lennon, you piece of shit!
Are you ever worried somebody might take your book wrong and try to kill someone, like when that guy tried to shoot Ronald Reagan after reading Catcher in the Rye?
Oh, is that who the book was telling me to kill? Oh. Kill Ronald Reagan. Kill Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan is dead now, Butters.
Oh, really? Gosh dang it.
Nowadays, people seriously hate Ronald Reagan, though. So much, in fact, that a lot of people over on Twitter love this guy, John Hinkley, who shot Reagan back in the 80s.
I'm starting to think I'm a crazy person for even considering something like this.
You? John Hinkley? Crazy? Don't be ridiculous.
Hey, do you want to know what this is from?
No, I don't.
Are you talking to me?
No.
'Cause there's nobody else here.
I don't care.
Then who are you talking to?
I don't care. John Hinkley, listen to the possessed dog.
It's from Taxi Driver. Have you seen that movie?
It is so good.
Jodie Foster's in it, and she's like super cute.
Hey, I know Jodie Foster.
You do?
Yeah, and I'll get her to blow you if you'll shoot the goddamn president in the face so I can fucking be president.
Okay, sounds good.
Ronald Reagan was 2 months into his presidency when John Hinkley Jr. drew a $29 handgun outside the Washington Hilton Hotel. He wounded the president, Brady, a Secret Service agent, and a Washington police officer.
Before he shot Reagan, John Hinkley had become obsessed with the movie Taxi Driver, and more importantly with then child actor Jodie Foster.
Oh no, who is this? Who is this?
John.
Oh, oh no, not you again. Look, I really can't talk to you, okay? But do me a really big favor. You understand why I can't, carry on these conversations with people I don't know. You understand that it's dangerous and it's not done, it's not fair, and it's rude.
Oh,
alright?
well, I'm not business.
Well, I understand that. It's the same thing. Okay?
So you just don't ever want me to talk?
No. It's been really nice talking to you.
I felt very shocked, very frightened.
With no Christianity to inspire Michelangelo, they gave the job to John Hinkley.
But how about that Jodie Foster? Pretty hot, huh?
I bet you have to do something really special to impress a girl like that.
That's disgusting. She's 12.
Yeah, a hard 12. Grass on the field! Go shoot the president!
In a last-ditch effort to try to win Jodie Foster's adoration, John Hinkley decided to emulate Travis Bickle's character from Taxi Driver and try to shoot a politician.
No longer will we the people suffer for the few.
On March 30th of 1981, John Hinkley attempted to assassinate President Ronald Reagan, a crime for which he would be found not guilty by reason of insanity.
The jury found him not guilty of shooting President Reagan and 3 other people, not guilty by reason of insanity.
The defense argued that Hinckley was not in touch with reality, that he shot the president to impress actress Jodie Foster. By law at the time, prosecutors had to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Hinckley was sane when he fired the shots, that he did not have the capacity to conform to the law nor appreciate the wrongfulness of his act.
How would you feel if your intelligence told you one thing and the system said another?
Since then, the federal government and a growing number of states have changed their insanity defense laws, putting the burden of proof on the defense, not the prosecution.
He spent the next 34 years in a Washington, D.C. psychiatric facility before being released in 2016 after being deemed not a threat to himself or others.
The federal judge has granted John Hinkley Jr. full-time release from St. Elizabeth's Hospital, where he's been in treatment since 1981. He's expected to go live with his elderly mother in Williamsburg, Virginia. There are many conditions about him continuing his treatment and certain requirements for him to check in.
While Hinkley is no longer considered a threat under the eyes of the federal government, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's learned anything from his whole one flew over the cuckoo's nest journey.
Do you want to say something to the group?
Yeah, I'd like to know why none of the guys never told me that you, Miss Ratchet, and the doctors could keep me here till you're good and ready to turn me loose.
In fact, since his departure from the psych ward, Hinkley's made a huge splash on social media, specifically Twitter, where he's slinging creepy cat paintings that could be all yours for just one small payment of $750. But he's not just painting now. I mean, Hinkley has so much more depth than that. He's also a blossoming folk musician.
Hello everybody, this is another one of my original songs.
The whole idea for this video originally was that I was gonna buy a ticket to one of his concerts and I would get to see him in person and interview some of the people who are supporting John Hinkley today. But just like all of his other concerts that had been announced, it got mysteriously canceled. Sorry the show is canceled. We all tried really hard to make this happen. We booked non-refundable hotels, got extra security per his request. I'm not really sure why he backed out of the show. Tickets were selling, everything was going according to plan. A few days ago, he got cold feet about the whole operation. He said that New York is a dangerous mess and had a bad vibe, and was being advised not to do the show. He wouldn't say who was advising him. I guess we will never know. He's sending me and the other organizers paintings which so happen to be worth the same amount of money that we sunk into the event. Request a refund through Eventbrite. So I went to request a refund through Eventbrite. And of course, I wasn't able to. Interesting. So John Hinkley plans these concerts in multiple cities via Eventbrite and collects ticket sales from his thousands of Twitter followers at $50 a ticket. But then, the shows never seem to materialize. They always end up getting canceled.
The cancel culture arguments aside, do you think his shows should be getting canceled?
When you try to murder someone, I'm pretty sure you're canceling them. The cojones on this guy to turn around and complain about cancel culture. And he's using a right-wing talking point about cancel culture, even though he tried to murder their hero.
And of course course your ticket will be refunded, but that's only if you request the refund directly from the Eventbrite page within a small window of the cancellation of the event being announced. Otherwise, all of the extra funds are sent directly to the event organizer who didn't even have to put the show on. Hinckley has done at least 4 other cancellation scams on Eventbrite just like this one, including a concert he was planning on putting on the anniversary of him shooting Ronald Reagan.
I'm going to be doing a concert on March 30th. The show is March 30th. It should be a great time for all. Hope to see you there.
It's clear that Hinckley had no intention at performing at any of these shows, especially not the Reagan anniversary one. It's all just fundraising tactics.
So get your tickets while you can. You can get your tickets through Cash App or Venmo.
But it's not just phony Eventbrite listings and shitty folk music. Hinckley's also starting his very own cult. The John Hinkley community, initials JHC, isn't so much a cult as much as it is Hinckley trying to crowdsource horny, Reagan-hating Jodie Foster lookalikes to give him much-needed female attention. I'm not joking. Look at this guy's website. It is filled to the brim with photos of him grimacing with his young libbed-up fans. There's also 2 different sections on his website dedicated to graphic designers that I'm sure Hinckley has the utmost respect for. And look, I get it. The guy was locked up in horny jail, psychiatric style, for 35 years. He should be able to get his freak on. But it just feels weird to see him continue to obsess over young women who, at least to me, look a lot like young Jodie Foster.
Hi there, John Hinkley. Yes, that's right, it's me, famous Hollywood actress and lesbian, Jodie Foster. I've been trying to get it, like my movie, Contact. I've been trying to contact you to tell you to leave all those young women who look like me alone. The only reason they're impressed by you at all is because you shot Ronald Reagan, which I guess you're okay with since that's how you tried to impress me. But yeah, John, stop trying to act like you're Jesus H. Christ. Oh, and by the way, I thought that Mark David Chapman guy who shot John Lennon was way more impressive than you. Talk about a real man.
For weeks, I emailed John Hinkley, begging to join the John Hinkley community. But eventually, I realized the only way he would reply to me and let me join was if I was a woman. So I sent him a gender-swapped photo of me, and he finally replied and allowed me to join. Which doesn't really mean anything since I don't intend on meeting him in Virginia. I just kind of wanted to prove that he's after young women ages 18 to 25. So John Hinkley jacked off to me, maybe. Is that something? Listen, not all my videos have to be winners, guys. Some of them statistically have to be whatever this is.
Hi again, it's me, famous Hollywood actress and lesbian, Jodie Foster. If we could just take a moment of silence. Of the lambs. Get it, like my movie, Silence of the Lambs. And yeah, just take a moment to smash that like button and also press subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Leave a comment like you're fat or I hate you liberal to let me know you've watched this far.
It really bothers me to see people on the left who claim to be against gun violence cheer on the guy who shot Ronald Reagan. Most of the time, those same people have no idea that Hinckley also shot White House Press Secretary James Brady in the head.
His wounds were so severe that staff members on the scene assumed the worst. National Security Advisor Richard Allen recorded the scene in the White House Situation Room.
We better just, I gotta go. I have a moment of prayer and silence for Jim Brady. He died.
After 9 months and many surgeries, Brady left the hospital, flashing his signature thumbs up, determined to recover.
How would you say that you're doing? How are you coming along?
I think from an ambulatory standpoint, I'm coming along fine.
A wound he would later die of in 2014 after living for 30 years with brain damage from Hinckley's attack.
A medical examiner ruled that the death this week of former White House Press Secretary James Brady is a homicide.
But you still are bitter or no?
Well, it's not classy to be bitter. And I try to be classy, as you know.
I do know. Is it very much of an effort?
Yes.
The tragedy turned Brady's wife, Sarah, and eventually Brady himself, into advocates for gun control.
I want to tell all of you here today something that I'm not sure you know. You do know that I'm a member of the NRA, and my position on the right to bear arms is well known. But I want you to know something else. and I'm going to say it in clear, unmistakable language. I support the Brady bill, and I urge the Congress to enact it.
The Brady Handgun Prevention Act was passed in 1993, and a year later, Ronald Reagan himself even advocated for a federal assault weapons ban.
Congress should restore a ban on military-style assault weapons and a 10-round limit for magazines. Weapons designed for the theater of war have no place in a movie theater. The majority of Americans agree with us on this. And by the way, so did Ronald Reagan, one of the staunchest defenders of the Second Amendment, who wrote to Congress in 1994 urging them, this is Ronald Reagan speaking, urging them to listen to the American public and to the law enforcement community and support a ban on the further manufacture of military-style assault weapons.
In America, there's supposed to be this thing called restorative justice.
This is restorative justice, a lying phrase that restores nothing and offers no justice at all to anybody. It's a strategy to keep thugs out of jail by claiming someone in the past got a raw deal. Using this reasoning or lack of reasoning, you could never mete out justice on any brutal crime ever. Just say people were treated badly in the past, so let this poor soul go.
Ideally, when you go to prison or a psychiatric facility for over 30 years, you're able to come out rehabilitated and ready to rejoin your community. But in actuality, it becomes almost impossible to reintegrate into society. And that's exactly what happened to John Hinkley. There's no job for Hinckley out there in the real world besides being the guy who shot Ronald Reagan. So it's up to the people who follow him on Twitter and buy his art to support him. But even that doesn't last forever. I mean, will people on Twitter still be hating on Ronald Reagan 5 years from now? Probably.
But if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism. And what is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation. Well, isn't this the liberal philosophy?